Hello everyone, my name is Alex Nie. I recently had spinal cord injury on September 14th, 2021. It's been 16 days since the accident, and I had my surgery. I had 2 weeks of bed rest, and now I am in something called um, acute rehab in Long Island. So today is my actual first time to experience the program of the acute rehab. What they offer here is 3 hours of physical therapy, and it's pretty intense. And comparing to the previous 2 weeks when I just finished surgery, this has been such a huge change. The It's very fast paced and it's very packed day. The schedule is very solid, and the food is fantastic. The people is really amazing and wonderful to work with. So in my first day camp, uh, I call this I call acute rehab the boot camp for paralyzed people. I mean, like not everyone is paralyzed. I am, but a lot of them they have they are able to walk. But like this is my paralyzed boot camp. So for my today's treatment, they put me on something called a geo machine. Basically, they strap me from bed and then transfer me to the machine, and then they hook me onto the machine, and then it helps me move and stand me up, and then help me walk and move. So like there's a mirror in front of me, and then I'm actually vertical. It's the first time since the surgery that I'm actually able to stand. It's really cool, and they take away the gravity issue, and then so when gravity is taken away, your my weak muscle are able to sort of like do a little bit of work, even like very minuscule, but like it still helps to develop that muscle tone and maintain that kind of like connection to the brain that it's still alive, it's still awake. So that was really cool machine to be on, and I think there's only 5 in US, and the Glen Cove Hospital has one. So this is like amazing treat for me. Afterwards, I came back to my room, start drawing a little bit, talking to friends, and then had lunch, and had another um, session called occupational therapy. This kind of therapy focus on the daily life, going to the bathroom, getting dressed, all the daily stuff that paralyzed people require to practice and become very good at. And in this session, my therapist, she's really kind and she's really knowledgeable, and she helped me look at how to put on pants, socks, shoes, and stuff like that, and also how to get from bed to like a sitting toilet, or like those are chair toilets, I think, commode, how to get into a commode, um, stuff like that. So when I finished that session, I started to feel like I didn't feel tired, but I feel like my back is a little bit like tingly, like not tingly. It's a little bit hurting. Like it's not too much. It's just like 0.5 out of 10 kind of thing. And then right after that, I have physiotherapy again, and and that session, I couldn't really last. I could not last at all. I think I did like 20 minutes of active work. The rest of the time it's just, like lying down and trying to breathe through like the irritation of my back, because I think all the dressing up, putting shoes on, getting from the bed to the commode has exhausted me, that I cannot even do anything else. So this was like a kind of little devastation, because getting dressed is a lot of work for people like us. I did not know that. Like, we could actually do it on our own. If all the clothing pieces are laid down for us, we can actually do them. But it's not easy. It's quite a lot of work and a lot of practice, and then it becomes exhausting pretty fast. So that's sort of like the kind of like the reality that I'm looking into. It's like, once I'm dressed, I need to go back to bed. That's that's not even an exaggeration. So, but I do really enjoy working with them and learning about how to adapt to a different lifestyle, how to push myself even a little bit further. But generally, like, without pain, I could do quite a lot. But when the pain is there, it's just like, it drains you. It drains me, and then I'm not able to do too much, because I also don't want to push it too far, because right after spinal cord injury, there's still a lot of precautions. There's still a lot of things that I need to look after. For people who don't know, there's actually 5 layers of tissue that's being cut and sewed back to reach to the spinal cord. So there's a lot of things that that are being broken and healing and everything. So like those kind of things take a while to heal, and also the back muscles are all connected, and one part broken, you could feel it, the entire chain. So that's sort of like why I'm already in bed like at 4 p.m. Normally I would be sitting in a chair, or like or drawing on my table or something like that. But since today I'm doing this earlier, I can show my room. Ugh, it's messy. It's not too bad. I mean, like, I got a single bedroom. I cannot complain. So, oops. So that little chair is the toilet commode, and then this is my view. This is my view. I'm facing the parking lot, and with a big tree and a road ahead. So I mean, like, it's not fantastic view, but for someone living in New York for a year, more than a year, seeing trees are such huge treat. And I just love looking at the greenery and just loving it. I totally enjoy this view. But I'm really happy to see all of this view, to see all of the trees, the sky, and even a parking lot. I mean, like, I haven't seen a parking lot in New York for a long time. But some other patients' room have like even prettier views because like they would have like the other side of the hospital, and there may be like some sort of garden or something, and the trees sort of like branch out in a very sort of like natural and beautiful, like expensive kind of like ways, very like um, Japanese kind of like style. That it's really wonderful. um, I keep wanting to like ask someone to take a picture of this view. Just want to, put it on paper and draw it, and that would be nice. So that's my day for, the program. And I also wanted to to say something about like some frustration I had this morning. So basically, since my accident, a lot of changes, a lot of adaptations and stuff like that, which I don't mind. But a lot of, it's sort of like, I know this is a new phase of my life, a new challenge of my life, and there's going to be a lot of changes. Um, One of them is to, like for me, really hard for me. One of the things that's really hard for me is, I love online shopping. I love clothing. I love, buying things. And now when I'm in this condition, it's like, what the fuck is the point? But I keep getting like, emails about, the fall fashion, what's in the season, and, popular pieces, and, all those kind of like advertisements. I've avoided looking at them because I kind of like, it's upsetting, it's frustrating. But this morning I decided to actually like open one up and started digging into it and just to see how I feel. Like I just wanted to confront those kind of like feelings, because if I keep avoiding them, I don't know how they are. I don't know what they are. I don't know how to deal with them. So, uh, this morning I opened a email list from Matches Fashion, which I love to shop. And looking at all the pieces, all the items, some of them are actually like quite exciting. Like I saw this Valentino jacket, and then it's just like upside down V, in repetitive forms in like huge pattern, and then this huge coat is made of this pattern. It's just like, wow, that's like a powerful jacket that would totally do it. But cannot. So I started feeling like frustration. I started feeling, despair. And, this is a big part of my life, buying things and wearing things, and this kind of like self-expression, blah, blah, blah. uh, so I started I started feeling very frustrated, feeling despair, and then kind of like hopeless, because I need to say goodbye to that part of me, um, and the part that used to love dressing up, and then becoming very creative to how I can look, and combining different things and just trying to find different ways to express myself through clothing. But then after a while, I started thinking, wait a minute. I know the I'm no longer able. I'm not. I know that I cannot stand right now. And then for people like us, mid spinal cord injury, um, the worst case is that we still have our upper body strength, and then the bottom line for us is to stay in the wheelchair for the rest of our lives. even sitting in the wheelchair doesn't really mean that I cannot express myself the way that I used to be. I mean, the proportion is not the same, but there are still things I could do. You know, there I may not be able to wear boots and stuff, but I could still have a nice coat. I could still wear hat. I could still, you know, do like pretty interesting shirts, patterns, accessories. I forgot this like the lady, this like really famous lady. She like combines and matches all different kind of patterns, exotic and even like some of the plasticky, trashy things. She put them all on and create her own self-expression of color, pattern, volume, shape, and she's a famous Iris something, I can't recall, and she's older, and then she doesn't really stand that much. She's always in a chair, so she could be my icon. I could be the Chinese version of her. And we could have a party. But I think she could stand, but it's just that when she goes out, she's in a chair. But there are many different ways. Even the worst bottom line, it's still going to be okay. And also, expressing myself creatively does not stop. Just uh, does not stop when I have a spinal cord injury, right? I need to become more creative when this kind of thing happens. So thinking it in that sort of like mode kind of like gives me a little bit of a break, makes me feel a little bit better, and calms me down a little bit more. And all of a sudden I feel like, okay, there may be the old ways may no longer be okay, may no longer be feasible, but there may be new ways, right? That's the whole thing about being creative. And I also talk about this to like some other people, some my friends, or like even to my therapist. Like once I talk about this with people, it becomes even less of a problem. I just put it out there. I just bring it up. I didn't hide it. I didn't bury it, and it did not grow inside of me any deeper. So it's just something comes in, and then if I don't like it, I find a way to you know um, calm myself and resolve it, and then talk about it, and poof, it no longer holds me anymore. So I guess this is sort of like my way of um, switching gear, changing the mode, so that I don't fall into the wormhole of like um, emotional instability. So, this is what I use today to sort of like test myself, and feel myself, and try to bring myself up, and make it even a possibility to create. And if I just hide it, if I just like did not open up the email, if I did not want to confront this sort of like disappointment or despair or frustration, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to deal with it, let alone to discuss, talk, and share about it. So that's sort of like my what's the word? My sorry, a lot of words. My emotional less for the day. That when I feel something, um, face it, look into it, and find a way to resolve it. There's always a way. There is always different ways, and we just need to look for them. That's it. Bye bye.